So here's an entertaining short story, all about a gal who is, let me see here, 31 years old, and is playing the world's smallest violin looking for pity and attention because guess what? It turns out that her boyfriend isn't so trusting of her. You see, earlier, she cheated on him because she was feeling insecure and liked the attention the guy was giving her. And of course, that didn't work out. And now she's playing the world's smallest violin because she doesn't think her boyfriend's forgiven her and all that and wants a bunch of pity. And I thought it'd be a funny one to go over here to show you that how even though someone like this can clearly break a guy's heart, cheat on him, betray in every way, somehow twist things around to be the victim here. And at the end of the day, guys, never take back a cheater. Once they do that, you take them back. There's always going to be some level in their mind, some way to think that you'll take them back. Even if they cheat on you once again, it's just not worth it. And as a guy, you're always going to be having doubt and questioning things. It's best to break things, just have a clean slate, and move on. And also goes for girls as well with a guy cheating on them. Titled, I, a 31-year-old female, think my boyfriend, a 32-year-old male, has never really forgiven me for cheating years ago. What can I do? And a shout out to Thom for sending me this story. She says, about 3 years ago, I cheated on my boyfriend. For anonymity, I'll call him James. The guy I cheated with, John, wanted me to break up with James, but the affair was entirely based on lust. That's usually how it works. The butterflies, the tingles, the unpredictability. The girls with the guy who's the stable one, the loyal one, the good one. But obviously not as cool and has the bravado as Chad and Tyrone, so she cheats with Chad and Tyrone and keeps the other guy around. Looking back, I think it was also because I was incredibly insecure, and John's intense pursuit of me provided the attention I needed at the time to feel better about myself. That's about the most truthful thing I think I've heard in a while coming from some of these types. Yes, deeply insecure gals will behave like this in many times. It's unfortunate. And I've also noticed the prettier the girl, the more insecure they are. That's something to remember, guys. Hence, all the craving attention, validation, all that. But there's still no excuse for what she did. When I rejected when I rejected John and told him we should stop seeing each other, he threatened to out me to my boyfriend. So I confessed to James in case John made good on his threat. Oh, you're such a saint. Here's a question. Would she have told her boyfriend, James, if there wasn't a chance John would spill the beans? Probably not. As far as I know, John never actually contacted James, and the day I rejected him was the last time I ever saw or spoke to him. I've also blocked his number. Oh, you're such an angel. James and I have already been together for a year, and although you may not believe it, I was really deeply in love with him. Yeah, nobody here is believing it, honey. You do not cheat on somebody that you're deeply in love with. You're deeply in love with them, all you want is them and their attention. It's the biggest load of crap ever. Nobody's buying it. At first, he decided to break up with me, but we stayed friends, and after about 3 months, we realized we missed each other and got back together. No, I'm going to rewrite what she said. Translation, he broke up with me. I bombarded him with message after message after message, bombing him tears, promising I'd change, and wore him down. He finally took me back. That's really what happened here. And by the way, smack to James for being so dumb to take her back. Sadly, James is pretty insecure too. However, last week, oh my bad, I missed a part here. Since then, I've been in therapy to deal with the inner demons that led me to cheat on James in the first place. Lady, save yourself some money, and it's just the fact that you're an insecure asshole, and you just don't know how to deal with it properly. You know? Instead of being a decent, loyal person, you have to go break the heart of somebody and cheat on somebody just for attention. Our relationship has been wonderful since then, and I think we both worked hard to become better partners for each other, and we even moved in together 4 months ago. Worked hard to become better partners? As in he needed to work hard at something? No, you need to work hard at something, but he's the dumbass for taking you back. However, last week, James hosted his best friend Luke at our home. I was working on my laptop at the time, but I could hear them chatting in the living room. I admit I eavesdropped and heard that Luke was confiding in James about his boyfriend cheating on him. So, looks like somebody didn't stop being sneaky. She's eavesdropping on the conversation between her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's friend's obviously gay because it said about her boyfriend cheating on his friend. What really surprised me was that James advised Luke not to take back his boyfriend. because it wouldn't be worth it, and that cheating damages a relationship permanently, as it's never the same. James also told Luke that's because of his experience, he no longer believes in the romantic idea of the one. Well, at least James got something out. There is no such thing as the one. That's the most ridiculous movie crap ever. 8 billion people in the world, give or take. Half are men, half are women, give or take. There are plenty of people you can connect with. Not just one. That's a bunch of crap for the movies, but young people buy into that shit until they've been around the block. I stayed silent, and when I left the study later that evening, I never brought it up, basically pretending I hadn't heard anything. I want to confront James about what he said, but I really don't know the how or if I even should. Does this mean he'll never forgive me? Why did he take me back? And why is he still with me if he doesn't think it's worthwhile? Well, number one, boo-hoo to you, fuck you. But number two, obviously James is insecure. Obviously James doesn't think very highly of himself or has many options, otherwise he wouldn't take her back. And obviously he probably was manipulated by all her tears and love bombing and begging. I'm sure she probably had her friends bombarding him with texts as well, trying to shame him. And just he was worn down. Guys that have self-respect, guys that, love themselves, that's a better way to put it, wouldn't take back someone like this. So clearly he doesn't think very highly of him. Honestly, you got 2 insecure people that are together. But he doesn't trust her, and this is not going to work. Because you can't be with someone, you can't have a relationship without trust. Those of you who've been in relationships out there long enough, you know what I'm talking about here. He's always going to be questioning things. Hell, he was having the conversation with his friend and revealed, obviously it's not the same anymore. But for her, if she goes and says something to him, she could stir up a whole hornet's nest. And quite frankly, I think she should. And that way maybe James will realize, no, this chick was eavesdropping on me and demonstrating a sneaky behavior, amongst other things. That's not going to work. And again, remember, this is the same girl who said, I was so in love with him, but I still cheat on him. What's going to happen is the next time she feels insecure, she'll probably do it again. In fact, now that this is going on, she might feel insecure again about their future and go off and try to monkey branch and find his replacement to break up with him before he breaks up with her. You get my point. So guys, if we learn something here, don't take back a cheater. But look she's trying to get pity on her. Oh, he doesn't forgive me. You brought this on yourself, honey. Now some comments here, because nobody is buying into her crap or feeling bad for her. One guy says here, a meth addict tells you never to do meth. It's not worth it, he tells you. Why then does he still persist in doing it himself? Because sometimes people don't make the best choices for themselves, but that doesn't mean they're going to advise others to follow the same path. Exactly. He obviously knows he has an addiction to her or an attachment to her or something like that. Another one, forgiven, sounds like he's done all he can. Congrats, you hurt him so bad you changed his perspective on love. Good on you for getting into therapy and becoming better for it, but you didn't get to hurt here, he did. There's nothing to comfort in this case. You stepped out of the relationship with another guy, James had his heart broken, he's done what he can to heal, and he's doing what he can to make it work. Cheating completely changes the dynamic of the relationship and the feelings of the individual cheated on. Someone betrayed like that doesn't just get over it, they learn to live with it. Or they break up with the person and heal on their own. Another one. He says here, you do realize this makes people think you're more likely to cheat if that's true. If not, I'll explain this in a bit. That means you knew that you were absolutely destroying someone you were deeply in love with and didn't care. You thought it was okay to do that to someone you cared so deeply for, and that level of love couldn't stop you from cheating. Nothing will. No one has ever cheated on someone they love. It's impossible. There's no way you can inflict the amount of pain on someone if you really love them. Amen. You destroyed James. He used to believe your love and your relationship was special. He thought that you were his one. He now believes that special love, that connection was all a lie. And it really doesn't exist in this world. He cares about you, probably more than anybody else, and he believes that all there is. Any deeper connection is just a myth. Since it doesn't really exist, why go look for it? That's what your actions have done, so you can see why it might be enraging for some of us when you say, I'm not a cheater. Exactly, because I think she said in the comment section, I cheat just that one time. Well, obviously there wasn't just this one, it was with one guy supposedly, but many, many, many times with that so-called one guy. And she made it clear that the biggest, deepest issue she has is the claim of being very insecure and needing the attention and validation to make her feel better about herself. Guess what? That's not going to go away. The attention and validation is like a drug, okay? And that's great, she's doing therapy and all that, but that's only going to go so far. So James should have ended it with her, but he took her back. James needs some work. So hopefully eventually James is going to realize that and move on. If not, sooner or later, some way, this will repeat. I wish James the best.